Mastering regulatory compliance. Leadership gambles with risk, but at what cost to compliance and excellence? What is the level of risk that the organization's leadership is willing to accept, and what is the maximum level of risk that the organization is prepared to tolerate, in order to achieve its strategic objectives while maintaining regulatory compliance and operational excellence? Establishing a risk appetite framework to achieve regulatory compliance and operational excellence. In today's complex and highly regulated business environment, organizations must strike a delicate balance between pursuing their strategic objectives and ensuring regulatory compliance. To achieve this balance, organizations must define their risk appetite, which represents the level of risk they are willing to accept in pursuit of their objectives. A well-defined risk appetite framework is essential for making informed decisions that align with the organization's overall strategy, while maintaining regulatory compliance and operational excellence. Risk appetite definition. Risk appetite refers to the level of risk an organization is willing to accept in pursuit of its strategic objectives. It is a critical component of an organization's risk management framework, as it sets the tone for the entire risk management process. A well-defined risk appetite framework helps to ensure that the organization's risk-taking activities are aligned with its overall strategy and risk tolerance. Components of a risk appetite framework. A risk appetite framework comprises 4 key components. 1. Risk tolerance. This represents the maximum level of risk the organization is prepared to tolerate in pursuit of its strategic objectives. Risk tolerance is often expressed in terms of the potential impact on the organization's capital, earnings, or reputation. 2. Risk threshold. This represents the level of risk at which the organization's leadership would intervene to mitigate or manage the risk. The risk threshold is often set at a level below the risk tolerance to provide an early warning system for emerging risks. 3. Risk targets. These are specific, measurable risk metrics that the organization seeks to achieve or maintain. Risk targets are often aligned with the organization's key performance indicators, KPIs, and are used to monitor and report on risk performance. 4. Risk appetite statement. This is a concise, formal statement that summarizes the organization's risk appetite. The risk appetite statement provides a clear and consistent understanding of the organization's risk appetite across the organization. Developing a risk appetite framework. To develop a risk appetite framework, organizations should follow a structured approach that involves the following steps. 1. Identify key risks. Identify the key risks that could impact the organization's strategic objectives. These risks may include operational, financial, strategic, compliance, and reputational risks. 2. Assess risk tolerance. Assess the organization's risk tolerance by evaluating its risk-taking history, industry norms, and regulatory requirements. 3. Determine risk threshold. Determine the risk threshold by evaluating the level of risk at which the organization's leadership would intervene to mitigate or manage the risk. 4. Establish risk targets. Establish risk targets that are specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound, SMART. 5. Develop a risk appetite statement. Develop a concise, formal risk appetite statement that summarizes the organization's risk appetite. Implementing a risk appetite framework. To implement a risk appetite framework, organizations should: 1. Communicate the risk appetite framework. Communicate the risk appetite framework to all stakeholders, including employees, customers, and regulators. 2. Integrate with existing processes. Integrate the risk appetite framework with existing risk management processes and tools. 3. Monitor and review. Continuously monitor and review the risk appetite framework to ensure it remains relevant and effective. 4. Provide training and awareness. Provide training and awareness programs to ensure that employees understand the risk appetite framework and their role in managing risk. Benefits of a risk appetite framework. A well-defined risk appetite framework offers several benefits, including: 1. Improved risk management. A risk appetite framework provides a structured approach to managing risk, enabling organizations to identify, assess, and mitigate risks more effectively. 2. Enhanced regulatory compliance. A risk appetite framework helps organizations to demonstrate a robust risk management framework, which is essential for achieving regulatory compliance. 3. Increased stakeholder confidence. A risk appetite framework provides transparency and clarity around the organization's risk appetite, which can increase stakeholder confidence. 4. Better decision-making. A risk appetite framework enables organizations to make more informed decisions that balance risk and reward, supporting the achievement of strategic objectives. In conclusion, a well-defined risk appetite framework is essential for achieving regulatory compliance and operational excellence. By establishing a risk appetite framework, organizations can make informed decisions that balance risk and reward, while maintaining regulatory compliance and operational excellence.